All right, so let's dive right in. We're going to be talking about a text that's, believe it or not, around 2,000 years old, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And what's just wild is how this ancient guide to the mind feels like it could have been written for us right now in our crazy modern world. I mean, does this feel familiar? That constant buzz in your head, the mental chatter that just doesn't quit, the to-do lists, the worries, the same thoughts on a loop? It's something we all feel. But here's the thing, this is not a new problem. Patanjali was looking at this exact same human condition centuries ago, and he saw all that mental noise not as who we are, but as a series of obstacles that we actually create ourselves. In this quote, it just nails his perspective. He sees the path to inner peace not as some grand mystical quest, but as this really practical, almost mechanical process. It's about unwinding the coils, carefully untangling the knots in our own thinking that we ourselves tied in the first place. Which means, and this is the amazing part, the solution is already inside us. So to help with that whole unwinding process, ancient Indian philosophy didn't offer just one single rigid path. Nope. It gave us a map with multiple routes because it understood that we all see the world from different angles. And that brings us to a really important number, 6. What could 6 possibly represent in a system designed to understand reality? It's not about 6 rules or 6 commandments. It's something way more interesting than that. It represents the 6 darshanas. You can think of them as 6 different points of view. Instead of one school saying, we have the absolute truth, they were seen as 6 complementary perspectives, each one shining a light on reality from a slightly different angle. It's this incredibly open-minded approach to wisdom. And this analogy just hits the nail on the head. Think about a sculptor trying to carve a statue. To really understand the stone and bring out the form inside, they have to walk all the way around it, right? They need to see it from the front, the back, the sides, from above. The darshanas are just like that, 6 essential viewpoints you need to truly see yourself and reality as they are. Okay, so if the goal is to quiet all that mental noise, what are the actual tools? How do we do it? Patanjali boils it all down to 2 core principles. You can think of them like 2 wings on a bird. You need both in balance to fly steady. On one side, you've got abhyasa, which is practice. This is the active part, right? The continuous, steady effort to keep your mind stable. But, and this is a huge but, you can't just force it. That's where the other wing comes in, vairagya, or detachment. This is the skill of letting go, of not getting hooked and dragged around by every little craving or dislike. It's the balance between trying and not trying that creates that stillness. And this right here is such a crucial distinction. The practice isn't just about checking a box or going through the motions. It's about fundamentally changing your state of being. The goal isn't just to do meditation, it's to be meditative, to actually cultivate this steady, calm presence that you carry with you through your day. Of course, this doesn't happen overnight. Patanjali is super clear about that. This isn't a quick fix. He says the practice only really takes root when you do it for a long time, consistently, and with real intention, with a kind of respect for the process. It's a true discipline. So, how do we structure this discipline? Well, Patanjali lays out this incredible step-by-step framework. It's known as the 8-limbed path, and it's basically a complete system for mastering your inner world. And that leads us to our next key number, 8. Now, these aren't 8 suggestions you can pick and choose from. They're 8 sequential stages that build on each other, a ladder that takes you from how you interact with the world all the way to the deepest states of inner focus. You can just see the genius in the progression here. It moves from the outside in. It starts with the most external stuff, your ethics, how you treat people, with yama and niyama. Once that foundation is solid, then you move to the physical body, with posture, or asana. And from there, it gets more and more subtle, working with the breath, pulling your senses inward, and finally, focusing the mind. Each step perfectly prepares you for the next one. And the final 2 limbs, dhyana and samadhi, well, they're the payoff. They're the goal. They represent these really profound states of meditation and oneness that can only happen once you've put in the work on the first 6 steps. So this is absolutely crucial, and it's probably the biggest misconception about yoga out there. The journey, according to Patanjali, does not start on a yoga mat trying to get into a pretzel shape. It starts with how you treat the person next to you. The foundation is all about ethics. Look at this. The very first step, the yamas, are all about our interactions. Nonviolence, being truthful, not stealing. The logic is so simple and practical. If your outer life is a chaotic mess, if you're causing harm and creating conflict, how in the world could you ever expect to find peace inside? You have to calm the waters of your life first before you can even hope to see your own reflection clearly. This isn't just about being a good person, it's a strategy for quieting the mind. So, this all brings us to the big question. What's the point? Where is this whole eight-limbed path supposed to take us? What is the ultimate goal of all this practice and all this discipline? The ultimate goal is a state called kaivalya. Now, it gets translated in a few ways: liberation, emancipation, sometimes even isolation. But not isolation in a lonely way. It means the soul, your true self, is finally free. Free from all the confusion, all the drama, all the stuff the mind and ego wrap it up in. It's just purely itself. And here's the beautiful, mind-bending twist. This entire journey isn't about adding anything to yourself. It's not about becoming a new, better person. It's a path of subtraction. It's about removing all the junk, the delusions, the false ideas, the mental noise, so that you can finally see the true, peaceful self that has been there, underneath it all, the entire time. This quote just brings it all right home. This ancient search for inner truth is more relevant now than it has ever been. In our age of constant distraction, we are all starving for something real, for reliable ways to connect with ourselves. That hunger is a paramount need of our time. And Patanjali's sutras, they're a timeless answer to that hunger. So I'll just leave you with this to chew on. We spend so much of our lives trying to build, to achieve, to add more things to ourselves, hoping it will make us happy. But what if all that striving's pointed in the wrong direction? What if the real work isn't about finding something new, but about having the courage to simply unwind, let go, and rediscover the profound peace that's already at our core, just waiting for us to notice?